Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever had one of those days where you've tried everything, worked as hard as you can, and still come up with nothing? It's frustrating, right? You feel like just packing it all in. Well, today, I want to share a powerful story about a fisherman named Eli who was having exactly that kind of day, and how a single moment of trust completely changed everything. Eli was a master of his craft. He knew the lake like the back of his hand, every current, every cove, every spot where the fish were supposed to be biting. But on this particular day, the lake was silent. He and his partners had been out all night, casting their nets again and again, moving from one trusted spot to another. Each time they pulled the nets in, they were met with the same disappointing result. Nothing. Just heavy, empty nets dripping with lake water and seaweed. As the sun began to rise, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, a sense of exhaustion and defeat settled over the boats. Their arms ached, their spirits were low, and their families were waiting for a catch that wasn't coming. They decided to call it a day, steering their empty boat towards the shore, ready to clean their nets and face the reality of their failed night. It was a familiar, disheartening routine on days like this. As they neared the shore, they saw a crowd gathering around a man who was speaking with incredible kindness and authority. This was a teacher many had heard about, known for his wisdom and compassion. The crowd was so large that he asked Eli if he could use his boat as a makeshift stage, pushing out just a little from the shore to speak to everyone. Eli, though tired and a bit grumpy, agreed. He sat in his boat, listening as the man spoke of hope, faith, and a different kind of abundance. When the teacher finished speaking, he turned his attention to Eli. With a knowing smile, he said, "Push out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." Eli was stunned. He almost laughed. "Master," he replied, trying to be respectful but honest, "we've worked hard all night and haven't caught a thing. We've already cleaned our nets. The fish aren't here." It was the logical response of an expert. The sun was up. The fish had moved on. Every fisherman knew that. But then, something in the teacher's calm, confident gaze made Eli pause. He had just heard this man speak with such profound wisdom. Maybe there was more to this than just fishing advice. It was a test of trust against his own experience and expertise. Taking a deep breath, Eli made a decision that would change his life. He looked at the teacher and said, "But because you say so, I will let down the nets." With renewed, albeit skeptical, effort, they rowed back out to the deep water, the very place they had already tried and failed. They threw their heavy nets one last time into the blue depths, not really expecting anything. But as they began to pull, they felt a resistance they hadn't felt all night. The nets grew heavier and heavier, straining under an immense weight. They pulled with all their might, and as the nets surfaced, they gasped in disbelief. The nets were overflowing with so many fish that they began to tear. There were thousands of them, silver bodies thrashing and filling the boat to the brim. It was a catch beyond their wildest dreams, more than they had ever seen in a single haul. They had to frantically signal to their partners in another boat to come and help before their own boat sank under the incredible weight. Soon, both boats were filled to the point of nearly sinking. Standing amidst the miraculous catch, Eli fell to his knees, overwhelmed not just by the sheer number of fish, but by the power of the moment. He realized this wasn't about fishing techniques or the time of day. It was about trust. It was about letting go of his own understanding and having faith in something greater. That day, Eli learned that sometimes our greatest breakthroughs come not from trying harder, but from trusting in a source of abundance we can't always see or explain. His life was never the same again. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. I hope it inspires you to find those moments in your own life where a little bit of trust can make all the difference. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories like this. We'll see you in the next one.